They said it was a suicide mission. Too far, too hot, and too late to save anyone. But when her rookie went down, and the evac team was pinned under fire, she didn't leave. She flew back through smoke and shrapnel alone, just to make sure every last soul made it home. If stories like this give you chills, the kind that remind you what courage really looks like, let us know where you're watching from in the comments. We've got a seat for you on this mission. The heat pressed down on the tarmac like a weight. Captain Erin Vale wiped a line of sweat from her temple as she walked toward the operations tent. Her flight suit clung to her back. In the distance, she heard the cough of a fighter engine starting up, then cutting out. Sand blew sideways across the runway. Another scorcher. Inside the tent, the lights buzzed. Major Harlan stood hunched over a table full of maps and satellite photos. His jaw tightened when she stepped in. "You're early," he said. Erin gave a short nod. Didn't want to miss the good news. Harlan didn't smile. He pointed to a red dot on the digital map. "Intel says a squad out of Echo Company is pinned here. Half their comms are down. No air cover, no armored support. They're boxed in by 2 ridge lines. Enemy artillery's moving in." "How long do they have?" Erin asked. "Couple hours, if they're lucky." He leaned closer. "Closest air team is us. And you've got the only squadron with a full tank and flight-ready birds." She waited for the rest. It came, but command's hesitant. Weather shifting over the ridge. "Enemy radar's been lighting up the pass all morning. You fly into that, it's not just dicey, it's stupid." Erin looked at the map again. "You need a pilot who'll fly low, stay quiet, punch through." "I need a pilot who'll bring my people back alive," Harlan shot back. Their eyes locked. No heat, just tension. She shrugged once. "Then I'm flying." A beat of silence. "You'd be taking cross." "Good," she said. "He needs flight hours." "He's green, Vale. This isn't training." "I know. But he's steady on the stick. He won't panic." Outside, a pair of jets screamed down the runway, kicking up dust. Harlan looked out the flap. "You really think this is winnable?" he asked. Erin stepped to the door. "I think they're out there, hoping someone shows up." She turned back to him. "I'll lead Hammer and Juno. Cross stays close. We'll fly the ridge, pop smoke at the LZ, cover the evac. We're in and out in 20. Harlan exhaled slowly. "One Sam and your Ash. Then I better not get hit." For a second, he looked like he might order her to stand down. But then he just shook his head. "You're cleared. Launch in 15. Radio if anything goes sideways." She nodded and stepped back into the sun. On the tarmac, her jet shimmered in the heat like a ghost. Cross jogged up behind her, helmet in hand. "They really sending us?" he asked. "We're the only ones left," she said. Cross laughed nervously. "Guess it's our lucky day." Erin adjusted her helmet strap. "No," she said. "It's theirs." She climbed the ladder, slid into the cockpit, and strapped in. As her fingers danced across the controls, the engine roared awake beneath her. Towers crackled in her ear. Ghost Squadron, cleared to taxi. And just like that, the countdown began. The wheels bumped once, then lifted clean off the tarmac. Erin felt the weight drop from her shoulders as the sky opened above her. The jet climbed smooth and fast, sunlight flashing off the nose cone. She kept her eyes on the horizon, hands steady on the throttle. Behind her, 3 other fighters peeled into formation, Cross on her right, Hammer and Juno farther back. The radio snapped on in her ear. "Ghost 1, this is 2. We are airborne and climbing," Cross said. His voice carried a mix of nerves and excitement. "Copy 2, Erin said calmly. "Tighten up. Let's keep this clean." Hammer came on next. "Birds look good, skies look quiet. Might actually be a smooth ride." "Don't jinx it," Juno muttered. Erin smiled slightly. She opened the mission feed on her screen. A red box blinked in the northeast, marked LZ Echo. Hostile zone. Friendly ground unit still unextracted. She keyed into squad comms. "All right, listen up. We stay low after the next ridge. SAM range is high, but radar's weak under the deck. We drop into the canyon, run the pass at tree height. Cross, stay glued to my wing. You go high, they'll eat you alive." "Yes, ma'am," Cross replied quickly. Evac birds en route. 5 minutes behind us, she added. They'll follow our path in. We clear the landing zone, smoke the edges, and hold the pocket until they're up. Do we have eyes on the ground, team? Hammer asked. Negative. Last ping was 12 minutes ago. Could be on the move. Erin glanced at her radar. Still clean. No blips. No enemy pings. The open sky stretched ahead, soft clouds painted across the blue. It almost looked peaceful. Almost. Her fingers tapped the side of her helmet. She knew better. This part, this quiet, was the part that always made her uneasy. Stay sharp, she said into the mic. Quiet doesn't mean safe. Cross's voice came back, quieter now. First time flying a live op. Erin didn't respond right away. She adjusted her trim, then spoke, calm as before. Your job's the same. Watch your spacing. Watch my tail. Keep your head where your hands are. Cross let out a breath. Got it. A warning tone chirped softly, weather update. Erin blinked it away. Some wind shear building ahead. Nothing major. Still, the canyon run would get tight. They dropped altitude together, a flock of shadows hugging the earth. Below them, brown hills rose like broken teeth. The first ridge was coming up. Ghost Squadron, you are now in blackout airspace, tower radioed. Last check. Abort or commit. Erin flipped her comm to secure. Ghost 1 copies. We're committed. She reached for the master arm switch and clicked it on. The lights turned red. Then a second voice, familiar, cautious, cut through her headset. Major Harlan. Vale, bring them back. She didn't answer. Instead, she angled her nose down and dove toward the ridge, the jet slicing into shadow. The canyon swallowed them whole. Erin's jet skimmed the ridge edge, barely 30 feet above the rocks. Dust swirled behind her like smoke. She kept her eyes ahead, reading the terrain second by second, every dip and slope memorized from satellite maps. Ghost 1 to flight, stay low and locked. Terrain masking's our only cloak out here, she said. Roger that, Juno replied. Cross was quieter than before, but his jet held position. Erin caught a glimpse of him in her periphery, tight formation, flying clean. Good flying too, she said. Hold that line. The sun blinked through the canyon walls in staccato flashes. Then, suddenly, her threat radar chirped. Ping, ping, ping. Missile lock. Hammer shouted. They've got us. Erin's heart kicked. Her HUD lit up, 3 SAM sites lighting up the map like fireflies. Flare! Flare, she barked. She dumped countermeasures and jerked her stick left. Heat signatures bloomed across the sky behind her. Explosions echoed off the canyon walls. She twisted hard, bones grinding against the G-force. A split second later, Cross's voice cracked over the radio. I'm hit. 2, report. Erin snapped. Left wing, hydraulics are out. I'm losing altitude. Stay with me, she said. You're not punching out yet. She dropped behind him, scanned his frame. Smoke trailed from his left wing, clean hit, not catastrophic. He was spiraling, but still had thrust. Come on, Cross. Level out, she said under her breath. Trying controls are heavy, damn. He studied a little. Altitude was bleeding fast, but he was flying. Hammer, Juno, break wide, draw their fire east. I'm staying with 2. Copy, Hammer called. Taking fire, looping them south. Jet screamed past overhead, baiting the SAM sites with flares and noise. 2 more missiles launched, missing wide. The canyon funneled their heat signatures like smoke through a chimney. Erin stayed tight behind Cross, watching every twitch of his jet. Can you still steer? She asked. Barely. You've got to hold another 30 seconds. We're almost out of the kill box. Copy, Ghost 1. He didn't sound scared now. Just locked in. Her radar blinked. The last SAM ping disappeared. Okay, Cross. Climb 5 degrees. Pull left. You're clear. His jet staggered upward, barely making the move. I'm good, he breathed. Systems red, but I'm still here. You did fine, she said, voice even. Just stay with me. Behind them, Hammer and Juno rejoined, their voices coming steady over comms. Clean break, Juno said. We're past the lock zone. But Erin wasn't looking at her radar anymore. She was looking ahead, toward a plume of smoke rising behind the next ridge. That was Elsie Echo. And if the enemy knew they were coming, they were waiting for us, she said aloud. Ma'am? Cross asked. She tightened her grip on the stick. They weren't supposed to have eyes here. Someone fed them our route. The team went quiet. Then, over the shared channel, a new voice broke in. Evac bird en route. 30 seconds behind you. Ground team still pinned. Multiple hostiles confirmed. Erin pulled in a breath. This is just the welcome party, she said. Ghost 1, abort the run. That's an order. Erin's headset crackled as the command came through. Sharp. Cold. No room for argument. She didn't answer right away. Elsie Echo was dead ahead. Smoke curled into the pale sky. Below, the ground team's signal blinked weakly on her HUD. Still alive. Still surrounded. Say again, command, she said, keeping her voice calm. Stand down. Hostiles have tripled. Medevacs turning back. Ground team is no longer viable. Repeat, no longer viable. She looked out over the canyon. Heat shimmered above the rocks. The ridgeline was crawling with enemy positions, makeshift nests, muzzle flashes, quick-moving shadows. Then came a voice she hadn't expected. Ghost 1, it's Kilo 6. We're still here, ma'am. It was Sergeant Hayes. Young. Sharp. Erin remembered his face from the briefing. First deployment. We've got 2 wounded, Hayes said, coughing between words. Pinned but alive. We just need 5 minutes of cover. Just 5. Erin clenched her jaw. Juno's voice broke in next. Ma'am, if evac's pulling back. I heard, Erin said. Cross came on too, quieter than before. We're low on fuel. If we stay much longer, we won't make the return window. Erin glanced at her dash. Fuel. 38%. Enough to leave now. Barely. She exhaled slowly. Command was wrong. The team wasn't lost. But going in meant risking every jet in her flight. And no guarantee they could get out again. Ma'am? Cross asked. What are we doing? Erin didn't answer right away. She looked at the terrain ahead, tight ridges, no airstrip, no margin for error. Just a patch of open ground under fire, and a few blinking signals depending on them. I've got movement, north slope, Juno called. They're flanking the wounded. If we don't move now. Erin closed her eyes for half a second. Then she spoke. We're not leaving them. Silence. Then, from Hammer, a low whistle. Thought you'd say that. Juno let out a breath. All right. What's the plan? Erin straightened in her seat. Her voice was clear now, sharp and steady. Juno, you take high cover. Suppress the north slope. Hammer, swing low and draw fire west. Cross, stay on my wing. We're flying cover until evac comes back or we drop empty. And command. Cross asked. They'll hear about it after, she said. But first, we hold the line. She flipped her comm to Hayes. Kilo 6, we're coming in. Smoke the LZ if you've got it. We'll buy your 5 minutes. Hayes didn't speak right away. Then copy that, Ghost 1. You don't know what this means. Erin blinked hard and pushed the throttle. I do, she whispered. The canyon opened before them again, wider this time, filled with fire and risk. But she wasn't flinching. Not today. Not while someone still waited on her. She banked left, her squad following tight behind. Missiles lit up her HUD again. But now she was flying toward them. Smoke trailed from Hammer's right wing. I'm hit, but stable, he said. Sheared my spoiler. I'm limping out before I become dead weight. Erin tightened her grip on the stick. Copy that, Hammer. Get clear. Good hunting, Ghost 1, he said, voice thin with pain. Then he veered west, limping toward the edge of the canyon. A moment later, Juno's voice came through. Ma'am, I'm down to 1 payload. Fuel's red. I can run another strafe or head for base. Erin didn't hesitate. Go. Both of you. That's an order. Understood, Juno replied softly. Cross hesitated. I can stay. You can't, Erin said. You're still bleeding fuel from that first hit. If you stay, we lose both of us. Go. There was silence on the comm, then Cross whispered, Be safe, ma'am. Erin watched her squad peel away, one by one, until she was alone in the air. The sky above was pale and open. Below, chaos. The ridge lines flashed with muzzle fire. Kilo 6 was still pinned near a rocky outcrop, their smoke barely visible through the haze. No sign of medevac yet. She toggled her HUD. The evac bird was circling 5 miles out, holding until the zone was clear. Hold on, she muttered. Her jet rocked as small arms fire cracked past her wings. She rolled, pulled up hard, and banked over the enemy nest on the north slope. Squeezed the trigger. Guns roared. Shells tore into the ridge. Dust flew. The flashes below stopped. Kilo 6, you've got 30 seconds, move. Erin looped around fast, too fast. Her jet groaned in protest. Warnings flashed on her screen. Heat rising. Fuel down to 17%. She ignored it. Coming around, she saw them, tiny dots moving fast across open ground. 3 figures carrying someone between them. One limping. One still firing back. Haze in front. Covering. Erin barked and nosed down. Missiles lit up from a hidden tree line. Too late. She rolled right, dumped flares. One missile flew wide. The second one didn't. Boom. The right stabilizer caught it. The whole cockpit shuddered. Alarm screamed. She fought for control, slammed the throttle back, nose up, wings leveling. Still flying, she breathed. Still here. Below, the evac bird finally dropped into view, wobbling through the smoke, rear hatch open. The ground team was just 100 yards away now, still running. But the ridge line wasn't done yet. More hostiles appeared, scrambling with launchers, setting up another shot. Erin wiped sweat from her eye and looked down. She had 1 burst left in her cannon. That was it. No backup. No exit plan. Just her, the sky, and a choice. Her finger hovered over the trigger. Come on, she whispered to herself. Erin pulled hard left, trying to steady the jet. The right wing was still dragging, but the flight controls held. Just barely. Below her, the medevac bird hovered over the dusty clearing, its side door open, rotors chopping the smoky air. The wounded team was almost there, sprinting with what strength they had. Then came the flashes. A dozen red sparks bloomed on the hillside, enemy launchers firing all at once. Erin didn't think. She dropped altitude fast, straight toward them. Her screen flashed LOW flight warning, but she ignored it. Come on, she growled. Just a little closer. Tracer rounds zipped past her canopy. Dirt kicked up around the soldiers below. One man fell. Hayes stopped to grab him. Erin gritted her teeth. Her reticle lit up green. She fired. A line of cannon rounds tore across the ridge, blasting the rocks apart. Enemy fighters scattered like ants. One launcher flipped back in flames. Another misfired and exploded. But 2 missiles still launched, both headed straight for the medevac. No, you don't. She dove lower, nearly brushing the treetops, and loosed her final flares. The first missile jerked toward her heat signature and vanished in a fireball. The second kept going, too close. The evac chopper veered hard. Boom. The tail took a glancing blow. Smoke poured from the back rotor. Erin's stomach dropped. But the bird held steady, just enough to stay upright. She watched in awe as the pilot kept the hover, holding it rock solid over the clearing. Ghost 1, this is Angel 2, tails hit, but we're stable. We've got 30 seconds on the ground, make it count. Copy, Erin said. I'll give you 30 more. She climbed just enough to bank around, lining up her final run. Down below, Hayes and the others reached the evac. Hands pulled them in fast, no wasted movement. Behind them, the ridge erupted again. New hostiles. New gunfire. She had no more cannon rounds. No missiles. Not even chaff. But she still had the sky. And she still had speed. Erin dropped fast, braking sound just above the ridge. The thunderclap scattered the shooters below. One man dropped his launcher as he dove. She circled wide, looping over the evac bird one last time. All clear for now, she called. Take them home. Copy that, Angel 2 replied. We're wheels up. She watched the evac lift, rising slow, tail trailing smoke. Inside, she saw shapes hunched around the wounded. She let out a breath. Good luck, boys. But it wasn't over. As the evac climbed, A second team of shooters sprinted from a hidden ravine, 3 launchers ready. Erin's screen blinked, no armaments remaining. Nothing left to shoot. No backup coming. She gripped the stick. If she couldn't fire, she could fly straight at them. Her nose dipped. The enemy team froze, unsure if she was bluffing. She wasn't. Erin didn't flinch as she tore toward the hill. The enemy team scattered. 2 dropped their launchers and dove into the brush. The third fired in panic, too early. The missile spiraled wide and detonated against the slope. Erin pulled up at the last second. The jet groaned under the G-force and the right wing shuddered violently. Behind her, the medevac chopper cleared the ridge, climbing fast. Angel 2, this is Ghost 1, Erin called out. You're clear. Package secured. Static. Then a strained voice crackled through. Roger. 6 on board. We're heavy and leaking fuel, but we're headed home. Erin exhaled, her breath shaky. Good, she whispered. Below her, the trees blurred as she leveled out. Smoke trailed thick behind her jet. Her instrument panel was lit up like a Christmas tree, warnings, fuel leaks, engine temp climbing fast. Ghost 1 to control, she said, trying to stay calm. Jet is wounded. Requesting emergency return vector. Control replied after a beat. Ghost 1, reading your signal. Divert to forward base Victor 9. Closest runway. Can you make it? Erin glanced at her altimeter. The right engine was losing thrust. Her control stick felt sluggish. I'll try, she said simply. Understood. Vectoring now. Godspeed, Ghost 1. She banked toward the new heading. The horizon wobbled. Then bang. Her right engine blew. The plane lurched. She gritted her teeth, fighting the spin. Left engine whining, hydraulics failing. Come on. Not yet. Ghost 1, your signal just dipped hard, Control said. Status. 1 engine gone. I've got partial control. I can glide, for now. The wind screamed around her. The cockpit stank of burnt metal. Up ahead, the clouds began to part. She saw the distant strip Victor 9, barely a shadow on the horizon. Hang on, girl, Erin muttered to her jet. Just a little farther. Down below, the trees thinned, giving way to a long stretch of road and dirt, enemy territory. She caught a glimpse of a radio tower, then a flash, movement in the tree line. Were they tracking her? Her radar was blind, but her gut said yes. She stayed low, hugging the hills. Angel 2 to Ghost 1, the evac pilot called in. We made it to safe airspace. Wounded stable. Thank you, Ghost. Erin smiled faintly. You're welcome, she said. Then the left engine coughed. She dropped fast. A beep warned her of altitude loss. Her stick trembled in her hand. The runway was still miles out. I'm not gonna make it, she whispered. Ghost 1, say again? Control asked. Erin didn't answer. Her focus narrowed. Trees below. One last hill ahead. Her only chance. There was a flat patch beyond that ridge. An emergency landing, maybe. No gear, no brakes. Just wing and will. She lowered flaps manually. Cut what was left of her throttle. Wind howled past her canopy. Okay, she said, gripping the stick tight. Let's try something crazy. The hangar was quiet. Too quiet. No banter. No clatter of tools. Just the low hum of the lights above and the distant thud of a chopper cooling on the pad. Major Ellis stood by the comms table, arms folded, jaw clenched. His headset hung useless around his neck. A tech whispered behind him, no signal for over 10 minutes. Not even a ping. Don't say that, Lieutenant Mara said sharply, stepping forward. Erin doesn't go quiet. She's just offline. The medevac team had landed 10 minutes earlier, wounded safe. Cross-sedated. The rest shaken but alive. But Erin, she never followed. Captain Darius leaned on a crate, rubbing the back of his neck. We all saw the smoke. One engine out, the other going. She didn't eject. Maybe she landed, Mara said. On what? Trees. Ellis cut in. That's enough. They fell silent. He stared at the radar screen. Still blink. Her call sign, Ghost 1, flickered once, then vanished. The silence grew heavier. She's gone, someone muttered in the back. No, Mara snapped. Not until we know for sure. She stepped outside. The air was hot and dry. A faint haze clung to the edge of the runway. Somewhere a bird called out. She scanned the sky like it would give her an answer. Nothing. Mara thought back to this morning. Erin brushing her boots before the briefing, sipping bitter coffee, quiet but steady. Always steady. She didn't even flinch when Cross teased her, Mara whispered. She just said, "I'm here to fly, not flirt." "Yeah," Darius said from behind her. "That sounds like her." Ellis stepped out beside them. "Controls launched a drone sweep," he said. "Low range. Maybe she landed hard. Maybe she's out cold." Mara's eyes burned. "Or maybe she's bleeding out in some ditch, and we're just standing here." Ellis didn't respond. They stood in silence as the drone buzzed overhead, a tiny dot against the sky. Suddenly, the door to the medical bay opened. A nurse stepped out, pulling off her gloves. "Cross is stable," she said. He woke up for a second. First thing he asked was, "Did the ghost make it?" No one answered. Then, a beep from inside. The tech yelled, "Contact." Brief signal ping, 30 clicks north. "It's faint. Real faint." They rushed back inside. The radar blinked. "Single transponder," the tech said. "It's her. It's Ghost One." Ellis stared at the screen. "Can we get visual?" "Too weak. Signals bouncing." "But it's her." Mara asked. "Has to be." The silence broke. Everyone moved at once, launching teams, prepping a chopper. Ellis barked orders. Darius grabbed his helmet. Mara just smiled softly. "She's not done yet." And above them, somewhere beyond the hills, Erin's voice cracked through the radio, barely above static. "Request. Pick up." Smoke filled the cockpit. Erin coughed hard, her oxygen mask cracked and useless. Her right glove was scorched. Her vision blurred, one eye stinging from the fire licking the console. The jet shook violently as she pulled the stick. "Easy, easy, girl," she whispered. "We're not done." A red warning light blinked, hydraulics fail. Then another, fuel LOW. The left engine sputtered. "Just hold together a little longer." Through the cracked canopy, the mountains rose in front of her and past them base. She could almost see the runway, a faint silver line in the haze. The radio crackled. "Ghost One, this is Control." "Say again, confirm position." Erin leaned in. "Still flying. Coming in hot." "Ghost One, you are cleared for emergency landing." "We've got you. Just get here." A pause. Then Mara's voice, calm but tight. "You're almost home, Erin. Just one more fight." Erin smiled faintly. Her hand trembled on the throttle. Her jet wheezed like a dying animal, the right side trailing smoke like a comet. Below, she saw fire flames from a forest blaze sparked by her crash route. Trees burning. Heat warping the air. Turbulence threw the jet sideways. The jet dipped hard. Alarm screamed. One final engine cut out. "Not now," she hissed, slamming switches. "Not after all this." She flipped to emergency power. The backup hissed to life, barely enough thrust. The ground rushed up. Erin pulled the stick with both hands, her knuckles white. Her body screamed. Every joint ached. And then, she cleared the ridge. The runway appeared. Cheers erupted in the control room. "She made it," someone shouted. "She's coming in." The landing gear jammed. Erin didn't blink. "Gears out. Going belly." She lowered the nose gently, flaps twitching, speed bleeding fast. Her fingers didn't shake now. She was quiet, focused. The runway grew larger. Faster. She braced. The jet slammed down hard, belly scraping metal on concrete, sparks flying. The left wing caught. Screeched. Then snapped. The jet spun, slid across the tarmac, a flaming hulk tearing through the morning fog. Fire crews rushed out. Mara ran ahead of them, helmet half on. The wreck hissed. The cockpit was crushed on one side. "Cut her out." Ellis barked. "Move." They pried the canopy open, smoke pouring out. And there she was. Soot-covered. Blood on her brow. Conscious. Barely. She looked up at Mara and gave a weak smile. "Didn't want to miss debrief," she rasped. Mara grabbed her hand. "You stubborn idiot." Ellis leaned in. "You just made history." Erin blinked slowly. I made it home. They lifted her out. Applause echoed across the base. Even the medevac team hobbled out to see her. The sun rose fully now, golden and wide. The jet behind her was dead metal. But Erin? She was alive. And as they rolled her past the hangar, she heard Cross's voice, faint, from a stretcher. Told you she was the real deal. 2 weeks later, the base was quiet. Erin sat on a bench by the runway, her arm in a sling, a cane beside her. The sunset lit the tarmac in gold. The jet she crash-landed had been towed off, now just twisted metal under a tarp. Mara walked up, 2 coffee cups in hand. She offered one without a word. Erin took it. Thanks. They sipped in silence for a moment, watching the sun melt into the horizon. They're naming the new simulator after you, Mara said softly. Erin blinked. Really? Mara nodded. The Erin Wolf Flight Training Center. Starts construction next month. Erin gave a quiet laugh. I almost died in that plane. Exactly why they're naming it after you. The sound of boots approached. Captain Ellis, holding a folded flag under one arm, stopped in front of them. Permission to sit? Erin grinned. You don't need my permission, sir. He chuckled and sat, then handed her the flag. We usually give this to families who lose someone, he said. But this time, we figured, maybe you should have it. You earned it. Erin stared at it. The weight of it. The meaning. She ran her fingers over the edge. I wasn't supposed to be here. Not really. Just a backup. A temp. Ellis shook his head. You were the one who stayed when everyone else had to pull out. The medevac team made it back because of you. You saved them. You saved us. Mara leaned forward. No one's calling you a backup anymore. There was a long pause. A cool breeze swept across the field. From the hangar, Cross appeared, still limping, but walking now. The rest of the medevac crew followed behind him, all quiet. They stopped in front of her. Cross raised a hand. And saluted. One by one, the others did too. No words. Just silent respect. Erin stood, slowly, leaning on her cane. Her eyes were glassy. She returned the salute. The crew stepped forward then, one by one, shaking her hand. Some hugged her. Some just nodded. Then they turned and left, disappearing into the dusk. When it was quiet again, Erin whispered, "Feels strange. Like something's ending." Mara replied, "Or beginning." They sat again. A jet took off in the distance, sharp, clean, rising fast into the orange sky. Erin watched it go. She smiled. "I'm glad I flew." "Me too," Mara said. Behind them, the last hangar light clicked off. And Erin Wolf, once overlooked, once temporary, sat as the last to leave. A survivor. A protector. A name they'd never forget. If Erin's story moved you, let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching.